So this tank's just been cleaned. That's just filling back up, it's a little bit noisy. But you notice that top sump is not there, just because we had a few problems, and it's actually down here. So we're going to put that back on. A couple of changes and improvements. We had a few seals that went. I think my skills at gluing acrylic aren't as good as I thought, but that's fixed hopefully. So we'll put this back in place, fill it back up, put the plants in, and hopefully no more leaking. Let's see how it goes. So one of the worries I had with this top sump was the fact that that weight, which is about 12 or 10 kilograms of water, is sat on top of this tank. Now this tank is very fat glass, you can see there, and the hood that was on it before probably weighed more than that 10 kilos, so I think we're okay. But just in case, to spread that load about, we're going to put this bit of waterproof flooring in position before we put that sump back on, and that will spread that weight out a bit nicer. So I'll just push that in there up against the wall, and you can see how that sits perfectly flat and solid. I am thinking about some metal braces which run from one side of the tank to the other, but I don't know if I need that because this works really well. That is properly solid on there. So we'll put that back in place. It needs a quick bit of a clean, and then we'll switch it on, see how it goes. Now it's going to be difficult to film, but we'll try our best. All this does, it sits on top of there, like so. Can't quite see what we're doing. Let's take him out. Like that. And then we need to get this one back to the tank. So it exits back in there like that. Move him out of the way, make sure you haven't trapped any of your light wires because it weighs a bit and it's sharp. It's sharp. Yeah, I've got to get them out of the way. Let's take them out. I'm getting big, mate, the ceiling. I can get in the buckets a bit. How did we do this before? I think we'll move these two over this side. Like so. And that's pretty good. So it's flush up against the wall. I haven't trapped any wires anywhere. Filter pipes are good, out the pipe is good, and then that runs all the way across over here. Sits nicely on that board is waterproof, so it won't go funny if it does get wet. And then the pipe just exits back into the tank on this side. I'm sure it went slightly further that way before, but that is not a problem. And we just close that door up there. The probes go back here. They could fix up here if we wanted. But we'll think about that another time. Make sure that's clean, that looks quite nice up there. And then we'll just put the plants back up there. It takes the roots out of the tank. I can put the resins up there if I want. We can put media in there if we like. But yeah, we'll switch it on and see what the flow's like. We have to fiddle with the flow to get the level right. You can make the level whatever you want. If the level goes over a certain level, you can see that there. There's the level. So it's about 2 centimetres underneath the top. It will just flow straight back out here and back into the tank through that pipe. So that's the reason for those 2 pipes. So I don't think this can leak. The only way it can leak is if it splits, and that's what nearly happened before. So hopefully our joints are much better. One tip on the joints: if you're going to glue acrylic, get the cleaning wipes and clean your joints properly before you put them together. And you'll get much nicer joints. You can't quite see there, but there's a few little air bubbles in the joins, and there shouldn't be. So if we ever do this again, if we need to, we will clean the joints thoroughly to make sure that that seal is much better. But yeah, let's put the pump in. We can do that now quick because it's still in here. So all this is a very small Eheim pump on its own little power supply. If I lift him up there, we'll plug him over that way. It's a shame it doesn't quite reach across that gap, and that's because that outlet's too wide. So again, if we do this again, we'll do a better of a job of that, but it's not too bad. It's quite nice. Yeah, so we'll switch that pump on in a sec and we'll fill it up. So that pump's connected up now. The little pump is really little, you can hardly see it. It's just above the surface of the water, another little thing. Should it leak, only a certain amount of water will come out. But you know, we're not planning on a leak. But we can switch that on from the phone here. So if we go to that one, and then these are all labelled up, and I think tops up pump is that one. We'll turn that to always on, save that, and he should switch on, and that's saved. Maybe not. What's happened there? Okay, so it is plugged in. I know why. It's because on here we've got a maintenance pause on, which stops all the pumps. So if I cancel that, it will turn on. So that will now fill. Just check I haven't done anything silly, and that water's going to come out. Oh, that looks good. So we'll leave that running for a bit. Obviously, it's going to come straight out of this side back into the tank. So we'll let it keep doing that. We'll make sure there's no drippy bits. And meanwhile, I'll go get the plants. I've got the plants in. So the first plant's a little peace lily. It's been doing quite well. You can see new leaves coming up there on the top. It seems to quite like it in the tank. So all we're doing to fix the plants in, a piece of acrylic, same width as the top of that. It's got a hole in it, and there's a bit of sponge wrapped around the plant, and then it really is as easy as putting the plant, just get that way around, in there, like so, and it sits on top, and its roots will be in the water when we've adjusted the flow. One plant in. So next we've got a very big monstera. It's grown that big in this situation. The roots are quite large. I don't like them hanging in the tank, doesn't look good. And a porthos, which is doing quite well. Again, his roots aren't quite so big, but they seem to quite like it in this water. And again, it's on the old acrylic with the sponge. We've got this bit of the problem with this, it's chucking out these big old roots. See one there? I might try and direct them down into the water if I can, but for now I'm just going to chuck it in, and we will adjust it later, because this is going to be tricky with one hand on the camera, one hand on the plant, and I've got to break them roots. So we'll just fiddle that around a bit. I'll leave that there. Those need to be in there. And that back one, we might have to dig a little hole through for him. This one can possibly sneak through that hole. That seems to help keep that steady. We'll leave that there like that. And then obviously this one, stuck under there, and dangle him outside. So they seem to keep themselves quite stable, particularly this one with those big roots. I don't need a plan for that, it's just going to cause a problem. Yeah, good. So now you need to do, we'll adjust the flow at this end, and that's fairly straightforward. We'll just stick some floss eventually. And the other thing you can use is one of them. And we'll leave that for a bit, and that level will come up roughly to about where the roots are. It's just a case of fiddling with the thickness of the sponge to get the flow right. We'll cut this sponge, so should it ever reach a level that's too high, it will just come straight over the top and out of the exit. But that is the top sump back. I'll tidy this up shortly. Right now, you don't want to see all that flipping around, but I'll show you a picture when it's done. And I think possibly I need to cut the plants down this end, but we can sort that out later. So yeah, once the floss is back in, that level will come up to just about where we want it, and that cleans the water quite nicely too. And those plants quite seem to like it. And one other thing, there's a fluval aqua splash on at the moment, hung up above the plants, which I think has made all the difference to how fast they grow. So all in all, you get to keep your plants up there, you don't have the roots in the water, fish are happy, there's less nitrates going on. Works really well. For now, I won't put the resins in there. I mean, I could put them down this end maybe, but I'll leave them where they are for now and see how those plants get on. So yeah, top sump's back. Hopefully no more technical water leak problems. That is the only worry about this. But yeah, we're getting better each time we build one. So there we go.